Dealing with sadness. Hi, my name is Ed Riggins, but most people just call me Riggo, and welcome back to this third video of my 4-video Thoughts for Thursday series about dealing with emotions. Emotions are signals sent to our awareness from our bodies. If we ignore these signals, their energy often doesn't go away, it just goes underground. We can either acknowledge an emotion now or play whack-a-mole with its energy later on. I've come to believe that, especially for men, sadness may be the toughest emotion of all for us. Men seem to have an implicit belief that to show sadness is to show weakness. Fellas, we're not wrong to be circumspect about this. Even if those we love the most have their own resources, we want to signal with both our words and our deeds that they can rely on our strength for their protection. To the extent they believe us, though, it means that if we appear weak, they will feel unprotected. When it comes to dealing with sadness, it's sometimes best to discuss it with people whose survival is not closely connected to our own. And yet the singer-songwriter Michael McDonald reminds us in his magnificent song, Peace, that we can turn to stone from our uncried tears. Sometimes tears are the only thing that can cleanse us of our sadness. Is there anything more dangerous than a powerful man without the courage to deal with his own sadness? Sadness that we won't deal with turns into anger that we won't acknowledge, and that just may be how monsters are made. Author Carla McLaren reminds us that sadness shows up when it's time for us to release something that no longer serves us, and that grief appears when a death has occurred. It can be the death of a relationship or anything that's deeply important to us. Sadness often shows up in our bodies as a loss of interest in work or activities. I once had low energy for a couple days after I had to end a long-term client relationship that just wasn't working for me anymore. I eventually realized that the word for what I was experiencing was sadness. 2 suggestions for dealing with sadness, a 4-letter word and a context. The first suggestion, the 4-letter word for dealing with sadness, is time. Our wisdom traditions hint that taking time to slow down is necessary if we're to integrate sadness. Many Japanese Buddhists have a service 7 days and then again 49 days after a loved one passes. Judaism suggests sitting Shiva, a mourning period of 7 days. Irish wakes often last 2 to 3 days. The second suggestion has to do with the context for dealing with sadness, and that's an environment of shared experience. If we surrounded ourselves with others who've survived similar challenges or traumas, acknowledgement of difficult emotions is easier because we feel less alone. See you next week when we'll talk about the emotion of happiness, and there are links in the email template if you missed the first couple of videos. Thanks for joining me.
Doors closing.